You believe you know yourself. You have built a life, an entire edifice upon this belief. You have gathered your titles, your degrees, your successes, and your failures, and you have cemented them together with the mortar of certainty. A name, a role, a history, a narrative you recite without hesitation to anyone who asks. Yet, in the quiet hours, in those moments of profound stillness when the world stops demanding your performance, when no one watches, a stranger stirs within you. It is a presence, an energy that does not fit the story you tell to the world. It watches you from the periphery. It waits in the corners of your mind, in the gaps between your thoughts. And one day, if you are fortunate, or perhaps quite unfortunate, it will demand to be acknowledged. It will step out of the fog and look you in the eye. Most men, most women, they turn away. They pull the blankets of their routines over their heads and pray for the morning. Most die without ever truly meeting this stranger, this internal other who has been their constant, silent companion. I am speaking of the self. Not the small self, not the ego, that fragile, shivering thing you polish and defend every day. The ego is but a cork floating on a vast, dark ocean, yet it imagines itself to be the master of the tides. No, I mean the greater self, the center and the total circumference of the entire psyche. That territory which most souls never dare to reach. It is not a goal to be grasped by the will. You cannot achieve the self through effort. It is a reality, a profound gravity that grasps you when you are finally ready to fall. You feel it, do you not? This subtle, gnawing unrest beneath the surface of your days. A quiet dissatisfaction, a whisper that no success, no matter how grand, can silence. You achieve what is expected, position, possessions, the admiration of the crowd, yet the taste, the ultimate taste, is ash in the mouth. You seek distraction, louder pleasures, new lovers, fresh ambitions, endless, numbing novelty. You fill the silence with the noise of the collective, hoping to drown out the heartbeat of the deep. But the emptiness, it returns, as patient as nightfall, as inexorable as the tide. This is no mere mood. This is no passing modern depression. This is the soul's protest, its rebellion against a life lived only on the surface. Modern man, he has become masterful at constructing the persona, the mask that smiles for the world, the mask that adapts, that performs, that pleases. He believes this mask is his true face. He has forgotten that the word persona originally meant the mask worn by an actor. He arranges everything, every detail of his existence to protect it. Opinions held fiercely, routines clung to, relationships that never ask too much, never threaten the image. And in doing so, he exiles vast continents of his own psyche. He banishes what does not fit the picture. He represses what disturbs his comfort. He projects onto others, onto the neighbor, onto the foreigner, onto the political enemy, what he cannot bear in himself. The rejected parts, they do not vanish. They are not destroyed by your denial. They sink, they fall into the shadow, the dark cellar of everything we refuse to recognize as ours. There they grow, feeding on every lie we tell ourselves, gathering force in the silence, until one day they erupt, They erupt in sudden rages that shock you, in secret addictions that shame you, in dreams that terrify and haunt your sleep, in illnesses that defy the doctor's explanation, in relationships that collapse for no apparent reason. You blame the world, you blame the body, fate, the cruelty of others. But the disturbance, it comes from within. The unlived life is knocking at the door, and if the door remains barred, the knocking will be a battering ram that will bring your entire house down. The journey I call individuation. It is not a path to perfection. It is not the accumulation of virtues or the smoothing away of flaws. It is not becoming better. It is not self-improvement in that shallow, modern, commercial sense. It is the slow, often agonizing movement toward wholeness, to become what one is, not what one should be, to allow the psyche to unfold, to bloom according to its own ancient and mysterious pattern, even if that pattern is strange to the ego. At the beginning stands the persona, necessary for life in society, yes, yet deceptive when mistaken for the whole man. Then comes the encounter, the collision with the shadow, that which we have cast out, the inferior, the unwanted, the dark brother of the ego. Later, the meeting with the anima in man, or animus in woman, the contrasexual soul image that lures us deeper, that fascinates us, that torments us. That bridge to the unconscious. Archetypes rise from the collective unconscious, eternal forms that have existed since the dawn of time. The wise old man who offers guidance, the great mother who nurtures and devours, the trickster who upends our certainty, the hero who dares the unknown. They are not inventions of the personal mind. They are not your ideas. They are living powers that seize us when we are ready or when we can no longer resist. They appear in dreams, in visions, in the myths we live out without ever knowing it. And at the furthest reach of this long, arduous process, beyond all these figures, beyond even the anima and animus, lies the self. Not the ego. The self is the archetype of order, the mandala of the psyche, the union of all opposites. Light and dark, conscious and unconscious, masculine and feminine, time and eternity, good and evil. It appears in dreams as a radiant stone, a golden flower blooming in the heart of darkness, a divine child of miraculous birth, a circle squared, a quadrated mandala. In alchemy, it was sought as the lapis philosophorum, the philosopher's stone, not mere gold, but the transformed substance of the soul itself. When the self begins to constellate, the ego no longer sits upon the throne alone. It becomes a servant of something much greater. Its ambitions grow quiet. Its fears lose their tyranny. This is the final stage, the one most never reach. Why? Why do so few arrive here? Because the price is everything you believe yourself to be. Because the way leads downward first, into the depths, into the rotting leaves of your own past, before it ever circles upward. To approach the self, you must first descend. You must turn your gaze inward and downward toward the shadow. You must name what you find there, the greed you condemn in others, the cruelty you abhor, the cowardice you despise, the lust you judge, the envy you hide, even from yourself. You must admit with unflinching, brutal honesty that these belong to you, not to others, not to circumstance, but to you. This is bitter work. This is the nigredo of the alchemists, the blackening, the putrefaction, the terrifying confrontation with the base matter of the soul. Modern life, it conspires against this descent. It offers endless light, screens that never dim, distractions without end, opinions that never doubt, moralities that divide the world neatly into good and evil, so that you may always conveniently stand on the good side. It rewards adaptation, conformity, the polished persona. It wants you to be a well-functioning cog in a machine, not a whole human being. But the psyche is not modern. The psyche is ancient, savage, divine. It demands the integration of the inferior, the ugly, the forbidden. It demands that you carry your own darkness consciously on your own shoulders. I have seen strong men tremble when they first touch their own darkness. I have seen pious women recoil from the serpent coiled at the heart of their devotion. I have seen the proud humbled, the righteous confronted with their own shadow projections. Yet only those who endure this meeting, who withdraw the shadows they have cast upon others, who carry their own evil without evasion, only they become capable of true consciousness. The rest, they remain half-human. They are inflated with false virtue or deflated by unconscious guilt. They are forever strangers to themselves. The path forward, it is not upward toward some radiant, sanitized ideal of perfection. It is circular. It is the circumambulatio, the slow, patient walking around the center. Again and again you circle the mystery. You see the same truths from new angles, descending deeper with each revolution. You will be tempted to regress, to return to the old mask, to blame the world, to seek a savior outside yourself, to grasp at partial insights and call them whole. Resist this. The work is solitary. No one can integrate your shadow for you. No doctrine, no teacher, no therapy, no substance can accomplish the union of opposites in your place. You must live the tension. You must carry the conflict without seeking a hasty resolution. You must endure the crucible. And in that enduring, in the heat of that suffering, something new is born. Not the ego's triumph, but the self's quiet emergence. The personality becomes transparent to the transpersonal. The boundaries soften. You no longer identify solely with your achievements or your wounds, your roles or your stories. You stand aside, as it were, and watch the drama of your life with a strange detachment, and yet with a deeper, more profound compassion. You sense the greater pattern moving through you. You realize you are not the author of the book, but a character being written by a much larger hand. This is not loss of self. This is not dissolution into nothingness. This is the discovery of the greater self. The ego does not disappear. It simply finds its proper place in a vaster order. It becomes relative, not absolute. It serves rather than rules. Few reach this stage. Most stop earlier, satisfied with social adaptation, or broken by the shadow's weight, or enchanted by partial insights and archetypal inflation. Some glimpse the self in moments of crisis or grace, but cannot hold the vision. But if you have heard these words and felt the stirring within, the quiet recognition, the ache of something remembered, then perhaps the process has already begun in you. Perhaps the self is already constellating, drawing you inward, downward, onward. Do not rush toward the goal. Do not strive to seize the self. Do not fear the darkness. Walk slowly, attentively, honestly. Pay attention to your dreams. They are the letters sent from the self. Listen to the symbols that arise from the deep. Carry the tension of the opposites. The self is not waiting at the end of the journey. It is the journey itself, the hidden guide that has accompanied you all along, from the very beginning, from your very first breath. One day, perhaps, you will awaken and recognize that the stranger within is no stranger at all, that the voice you feared was your deepest truth, that the darkness you fled was the womb of your wholeness. It is you, finally, truly, come home.
The journey to the self is the greatest adventure a human can undertake. If this exploration resonated with you, consider subscribing to join our circle of inquiry. Like this video to help these ideas reach those who are still searching in the dark. And if you feel called to sustain this work, please consider supporting the channel. I really appreciate it.